Hi everyone, my name is Steven. Welcome to your practice. What we are going to do today is just a 10-minute all-round hip stability and little strength practice. This one is great if you've been sitting a lot or you want to take a quick break from work. You don't need any equipment, you just stand up and do this little practice, and hopefully it's going to leave you feeling open but also a little bit strong around the hip region, which is a necessary precondition to move around with ease and to just be a good mobile human being, let's say. Good, we're gonna start like this. I'm not mirroring you, so just be aware. I'm lifting my right knee as high as it goes. I'm trying for it not to go out to the side, so just straight out in front. At the same time, I'm pushing the left foot down. Watch the rest of your posture so that you don't crumple forward, the spine doesn't round too much, so you're in a nice standing posture. And I was meant to count to about 10, but I've been talking too much. So let's just do 3, 2, and 1. Okay, put that first foot down and then ground the right foot down. Start to lift the left knee up as high as it goes. You should feel those muscles at the front of the hip switch on. Those are the hip flexors. And then just hope for the best and hold for a little bit. If you need to hold on to something for your balance, that's fine. We're not really just practicing balance here, so that's a little bit less important. And then lower the leg back down. Now I'll show you from the side. So start to lift the right heel up towards your buttocks and try to keep the knees more or less in the same line. Also try to avoid leaning forward or bending at the spine too much. So all I'm doing is I'm pulling that heel close to the hips as best as I can. It's going to activate the hamstring, the back of the legs. If you've been sitting, then this poor hamstring has been really inactive and also can get quite weak in that position. So last 3, 2, 1, and lower the foot down. I don't know how to talk you through the movements and at the same time count properly, so yeah, I have to choose. So I'd rather give you a bit more background as we go. Okay, left foot lifted up, align the knees more or less, doesn't have to be perfect. Stand up nice and tall, and then you're pulling with that hamstring. It's like a hamstring curl to lift that heel close to your buttock. Good posture and the rest of the spine. Lift up to the crown of the head and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Lower that down. Now we're going to go back to that leg lift, but I'm going to add something if you feel like you're ready for an extra challenge. So I'm standing on the left leg again. Lift the right knee as high as it goes. Keep the knee as high as you can, and now start to straighten the right leg out as best as you can. Nice. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Oh man, that's harder than it looks. That leg seems to weigh 1 ton, doesn't it? Okay, enough break. We're gonna go to the second side. So lift the left knee as high as you can. Push that right foot down. It's gonna help with your balance. Hold on to something if you need to. Kick the left foot forward. Boom. Whatever was bothering you, you've kicked it away from you into the distance. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow, that leg was so heavy. I forgot to say you can of course do this again with the knee bend, but why not add a little challenge? Nice. Now stand on the left foot. Lift the right foot a little bit off the mat, I was going to say, the floor, wherever you are. Then turn the right toes out. So it's an external rotation in the straight right leg. Imagine someone is torquing or twisting that right thigh bone in the hip socket. Nice. So you're going twisting as far as you can, squeeze a little bit. You should feel those muscles in the outer hip engage. 3, 2, 1. Same leg. Now go internal rotation. Try not to hike the hip up too much. Keep the hips more or less level and just turn this whole leg internally. Nice. So twist, and it's like almost like you're wringing it out from the hip socket. 3, 2, and 1. Place the right foot down. Now it doesn't look like we're doing much, but internally you'll feel as you're balancing and you're turning the leg, there's quite a lot of deep stabilizing work going on. So that's what we're after today. Stand on your right leg, hover the left foot. Don't lift the hip too high, just a little bit is enough. And then rotate the left lower leg, not just the lower leg, why am I saying that? The entire leg out to the side. Nice. I'm squeezing internally, almost imagine somebody's twisting that thigh bone out, and hold for 3, 2, 1. Keep standing the same leg. Now we're turning internal. The left hip is going to want to hike up higher. Try to resist that a bit. You can always have hands to hips to check yourself. So now we're internally rotating. It's likely that you have a little bit less internal rotation than external, and that's fine. Keep rotating inwardly with that entire left leg. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Put the left foot down. Nice. Now we're going to go sideways, so straight off to the side. Here we're going to try and avoid side bending in the spine and also leaning in the opposite direction. Nice. We're going to try and stand up as tall as we can. Let the right leg go out to the side. You're going to have to lean a little bit as a counterbalance, but try not to overdo it. If that right leg only goes out a little bit, which is the case for me, then just make friends with that. All we're doing here is activating this outer hip muscle. So if you feel that, you're doing it right. For 3, for 2, and hold for 1, and put the right foot down. This is a notorious weak spot for many of us, and I can feel the same in my own body. Nice. Left foot lifted up. The whole left leg goes straight to the side, straighten the leg, and try not to lean too much to the right. Obviously then you can lift that leg higher, but we're here for strength and stabilizing, not for maximum range of motion. So let go of how far the leg actually goes and pause here for 3, 2, and 1, and shake the legs out. You should feel some good burn in those outer hip muscles here. Nice. Let's try something else. Lift the right knee just in front of the hip now, so not as high as you can. And then we're going to externally rotate, which means the foot will go to the inside and a little bit up. And the knee, we're doing our best to keep it in front of the right hip. Nice. And then hold here. I'm actively trying to raise that right foot against gravity, but you'll notice your active range of motion is not the same as your passive one, which would be if I pull that foot up with my hand, for example. That would be passive. Good. Put it down and then lift the left knee in front of your left hip. Start to externally rotate, which means lifting the foot to the inside, and that entire thigh bone turns in the socket here as you're also flexing the hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extra bonus if you can keep the breath a bit soft, if you can leave your face out of it, if you can't tense the shoulders. Those are all a little bit more advanced things you can start to bring your attention to. Now bring your left knee up, and now we're going to internally rotate, which means the foot goes out and up. And at least for me, I'm not getting a huge amount of motion. I can also feel that right hip wants to lift, so I'm doing my best to keep it level with the left. And I'm just squeezing internally, even if it's a tiny bit, that the lower leg moves out to the side, and that's fine. 3, 2, 1. Place the foot down, well done. And then left knee in front of left hip. Internal rotation without hiking the left hip up. And that's easier said than done. You can always use your hands as a reference. And often internal rotation, it doesn't feel like much is available for many of us. And I'm one of them. So we're just doing what we can here. 3, 2, 1, and slowly shake it out. Good. That was your quick hip strengthening and stabilizing. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me, and see you here again soon. All the best.